Welcome to this edition of the BRSN Insider. I'm Dakota Smith. I'm sitting down with head women's volleyball coach Erin Cooper. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You guys traveled to Evangel last Saturday, got a 3-0 win. Go ahead and talk to us about that match.
Yeah, we traveled down there on Saturday after Baker had been there the night before, and Baker had lost 0-3 to Evangel, and so it was kind of an unexpected win for Evangel, maybe, or a loss, maybe more so a loss for Baker than it is for a win for Evangel. But so we weren't quite sure what kind of team we would be up against. Scouting Evangel, we thought we could have them handedly, but knowing what Baker had also, we're questioning, kind of what team we were going to have against Evangel. And just so it looked like our girls just took care of business. They didn't worry about who was on the other side of the net and came out and played really, really well the first two sets, and kind of had some relaxed moments in the third set, but ended up pulling it off after being behind again. So yeah, it was a good win.
And then you came back home on Tuesday and you got that Baker team, and I will say one of the most exciting volleyball matches I've ever watched. You went 3-2 with them. That game was very, very up and down.
Yes. The momentum, volleyball is such a momentum sport, and the momentum was on our side, the momentum was on Baker's side, back and forth throughout the entire match. The last set was, in the fifth set, was quite fun, being down, was it 10-5?
I think it was 10-5.
10-5 in the fifth, and coming back and winning. It shows a lot of grit within our team. They have an never say die attitude in that set. So that's something that we haven't seen this far this season. We've seen it to an extent, but we have never come out on the winning end of that. So that was something really good to see our team come together and produce a W after that deficit.
And what was it like? Baker's really, really good defensively, very, very good at the net. What were you telling your hitters when they were constantly getting blocked at the net?
Yes, continue to be aggressive and hit line. Stay away from that beast in the middle. It's basically what it was.
Sophie Thomas, Flor Wesselink, Sarah Ramonzai led you in kills in both of those matches. Talk about those three. And, Sophie coming in as a freshman, what she's done so far.
Yeah, Sophie is a kid that shows very little emotion on the floor and keeps her composure very, very well. Again, I think I said this last week, you don't know that she's a freshman. There's a few things about the quickness of the game that you might be able to pick up on, that the lack of experience that she has. But other than that, she is very mentally tough. You ask her to do something and she's going to put all of her effort into doing that. Very coachable. Fleur Wesselink, the same thing. She is going to live and die for her teammates. She's going to do everything she possibly can to help out the team aspect. Even things that you wouldn't see her doing normally, she is diving across the floor and getting a ball up, just getting the smallest touch, which keeps the ball going. She has that in her, and again, like I said last week, it is something that is within an individual, an athlete, and she just has it. She brings it out in the toughest times, so mentally she's got it. And Mons, we call her the monster in the middle. You had said Sarah earlier, and I was like, who is Sarah? But we call her Mons, due to her last name, Ramonzai, and she's kind of got this nickname now that she's our monster in the middle with that. But she helps out those other two hitters on the outside because defensively they have to go with her. She is something that you have to defend her. She's going to score if you go one-on-one with her, and so she opens up it for our outsides a lot.
And somebody I didn't have wrote down to talk to you about, but Taylor Garner.
Yes.
Her growth over the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. Talk about what she means to this team.
Yeah. She is doing a great job of running our offense. She also has one of the, a pretty fierce serve, consistent serve, something that we rely on. She comes in with a lot of leadership. When times are tough, she is able to bring the girls together and say, hey, let's meet this above the problem versus below the problem. Let's meet this adversity head on, things like that. So she has a lot of leadership that this team looks for and needs.
And you're actually getting ready to leave. You guys travel to Des Moines tonight to take on the number 13 ranked team in the country, Grandview. What do you know about them, and what are your expectations for tonight?
My expectations for tonight are just that we need to continue to stick to our game plan and continue to be who we are, and not allow them to dictate what we do, and just go out and leave it out there on the court tonight. So.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us. Benedictine College Volleyball Coach Erin Cooper on the BRSN Insider.
Benedictine College is a chosen place with a special mission. Chosen to lead students in the classroom and outside it. Chosen to bring students closer to God and to each other. Chosen to build one of the great Catholic colleges in America.
Welcome back on the BRSN Insider. I'm sitting down with head men's soccer coach Miguel Rodrigues. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll go back to Saturday. You traveled to Fayette, suffered your first loss of the season, a 3-0 loss to Central Methodist. Go ahead and take us through that match.
We just weren't good enough. Simply put, we just weren't good enough. We can sort of use every excuse possible to explain it, but that day they were better than us, and it showed.
Was that a team going in that was better than the receiving votes that they were getting?
I don't think people understand how hard our conference is. The rankings this week specifically moderately showed the complexity of our conference. We had 5 teams ranked in the top 20 in the country. So 1/4 of the best teams in this country are in our conference. That's not including the teams who had beaten ranked teams earlier that year. It's not including any of that. Going into conference play, we had 8 teams above or at 500. Above 500, and I think it was something like 10 or something like that who were at or above 500. So every single game in our conference is a fight, and CMU or anyone else is going to be the same sort of way.
And you took on the number 3 team in the country last night, Missouri Valley, in a very, very competitive game, a 2-1 loss that was almost like a tale of 2 games in a sense. They've dominated most of the first half. Then you got the goal near the end of the first half, and that seemed to tilt the momentum in your guys' favor.
Yeah, there's an expression in Brazil that says, those who don't score get scored on. And that is 100% what happened. We didn't take advantage of our opportunities early in the second half when we had them, and unfortunately we were able to get one.
Yeah, they got that second goal. You guys had a lot of opportunities between the time they got that second goal, and especially at the very end. Callum James had a very, very nice look in the box, and I guess we'd be sitting here talking about something different if that would have went home. But what are you looking to improve on going into Saturday?
Soccer is it's a very simple game. You just have to score. It's not very complicated. It would be one thing if we weren't creating the opportunities. We're getting good chances. Luca as well had a great opportunity just in front of the goal. But it's not about an individual. It's about us as a team. I think we need to be more clinical. We need to not put ourselves behind by letting in a goal the first 20 minutes and things like that. But moving forward, that's what it's about, creating opportunities.
And you have a very, very diverse squad when it comes to guys you've brought in this year and guys coming back. How have those guys mixed together?
I guess diversity is an interesting way to look at it, but you're always recruiting new players and things like that. But I think it's going fine. I think, the nature of college athletics is sort of that transient nature, kind of the recycling of new players in and things like that. But it's great. I mean, it's as great as it ever is. The guys get along. We really have an understanding of the values that it means to be a team from top to bottom, and I think the guys buy into that and believe in it.
You get William Penn at home on Saturday. What do you know about them, and what are your expectations for Saturday?
I know that William Penn, like any one of the non-top 5 teams in our conference, is a very, very, very good team. They knocked off the number 18 team in the country, Midland, at Midland. They are a very, very good team coached by one of our own. And I expect the same thing from them that I expected out of Missouri Valley, and the same thing I expected out of Central Methodist. It's going to be a fight, whether you're home or away. This is the heart.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us. Benedictine College men's soccer coach Miguel Rodrigues on the BRSN Insider.
Benedictine College is a chosen place with a special mission. Chosen to lead students in the classroom and outside it. Chosen to bring students closer to God and to each other. Chosen to build one of the great Catholic colleges in America.
Back on the BRSN Insider, I'm sitting down with women's soccer coach Lincoln Roblee. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Good to be here, Dakota.
We'll go back to Saturday. You suffered your first loss of the year to CMU, 3-1. Take us through that match.
It was a good game. Central Methodist is a good team. We were behind in the first half and had a call kind of go against us in the second half. They scored a really nice goal off a corner, and we came back and scored a goal, but it was a little bit too little, too late. We've had games throughout the year. Usually have a couple games that kind of don't go your way. This was one of them. They're a good team, but we were very confident that as long as we work hard and to stay focused, that we're going to have more positive results going forward. So sometimes a setback can be a good thing for a team, and I think it kind of helped us just get refocused.
And you got the chance to bounce back last night, and you guys did. You got a 3-1 win over a good Missouri Valley team.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take us through that match as well.
It was a good game. I mean, it was. We got off to a pretty quick start. We had a nice build-up, and then Abby Hare put in Emily Amble, who had a really nice finish. Then we broke through their offside line and got taken down and got a penalty kick. Rosie McShane finished that to give us a 2-0 lead. They scored pretty soon right before the half to make it 2-1. And then second half was a pretty good game where we scored at literally the last few seconds of the game to make it a 3-1 victory. And I thought that both teams played very hard. It was a more physical match. There were a number of fouls and a few yellow cards. But I was really good to see the team play through a match like that where there were a lot of restarts and some physical play. I thought we kept our heads very cool. We didn't receive any cautions and stayed focused and got the strong result of 3-1.
You guys have 22 of your 26 players come back. What does that kind of experience bring to this team?
Right. We have 4 freshmen on the team and 22 returning players, which adds a tremendous amount of experience, leadership, and people who have gone through an awful lot of success. They keep themselves very level-headed. I was actually, in the game that didn't go our way earlier in the week, I was very proud of the reaction that the team had when we had a couple calls not go our way. We showed great maturity. We actually had a player go in a situation that she wasn't warned about. We had another player move to a different position that was based off of the situation of the game, and we took a player out. They were all veterans. They all understood it. They all understood a situational strategy, and that they were all focused and prepared and ready for something a little bit new. And that comes with people who have been there and done that and been in difficult games. And with that sort of experience, no matter what the odds are, we're very confident and resilient to where we're going to get a positive result. And that usually comes when we've got people that have been through a lot of very good games, which we've got, every single one of our returning players have been conference champs, conference tournament champs, been to the national quarterfinals, semifinals, quarterfinals again. That success comes with a strong attitude and people who are willing to fight through difficult times.
Rankings, you've been in the top 5 for the majority of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You get this ranking out. You guys dropped 12 spots because of the loss. Does that bring any kind of motivation to you guys, or what? How do you guys look at your ranking?
I don't pay no attention to it. I have mentioned it 0 times to the team when we were ranked 3. I've mentioned it 0 times when we were 15. The one thing I talked about was that we had a game that we wanted to play better at earlier in the week, and I said this is a chance where we can continue this and improve on what we just did. So it's all about improvement. It's all about getting better. If we didn't do something well, whether it be pass, trap, dribble, shoot, defend, restart, we're going to improve in those areas, and we're going to enhance what we already do well. So the national ranking is kind of like what everyone else does, and anytime that you have a loss, you drop, and anytime you have a win, you like to think you can go up. We just want to keep winning, and when we keep winning, other things come with it. You get honors, awards, rankings, etc., and hopefully, obviously, championships and just moments that the team can be proud of. So the rankings, people every week talk to me about it. It's not something that defines who we are. We just want to get better. Let everyone else vote on it, but maybe it will be something we'll be talking about. But right now, we're just kind of focused on how we can get better, not what other people think of us.
And we'd like to think the Heart is one of the top conferences in the country when it comes to just about everything.
Yes.
Talk about how tough it is night in, night out to go in and play in this conference.
We have outstanding teams in the conference. I think that a lot of computer rankings have 7 or 8 of the Heart women's teams in the top 40. Throughout the country, there's 200 women's teams that play, and to have a fifth of them of the top 40 all from your conference just shows the competitiveness. There's some conferences that have only 6 or 8 teams, and most of those teams are in the bottom 160, whereas the majority of ours are in the top 40. So week in, week out, we're going to be facing a quality team. We know the games are going to be close, and we know we've got to be sharp to get results. But every single opponent in the Heart is very good, and it really speaks a lot about the conference. I'm proud to be able to coach the school, but also be in a conference that has such quality.
You guys get William Penn on Saturday at home, family weekend. What do you know about William Penn, and what are your expectations for Saturday?
They're a good team. We played them twice last year. We beat them 4-0 at their place, and we beat them 1-0 in the first round of we were the 1 seed. They were actually the 9. They beat Grandview last year in the 8 and 9 game and played them in the conference quarterfinal. They've got a number of returners. They've got a couple new players that are making impacts for them. I'm actually downloading film right now, and I'll be watching film of them later today, and I'll be learning more. But they've got good offense and defense. I know their coach well. He's an alum, and they're going to be a team where we're going to have to fight hard. Last time we played them, we beat them 1-0. I expect another very good game.
All right, Coach, best of luck to you on Saturday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dakota.
Benedictine College women's soccer coach Lincoln Roblee on the BRSN Insider.